Dear all, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to create an AWS free tier account. Also, we are going to understand about what is root user and also what is the use of root user. Then we are going to create an IAM user. Why we need IAM user? By using IAM user, we are going to log in into the AWS console uh, to access the respective services. How we are going to use that you by using that AWS user, IAM user to access the different types of services provided by AWS. Okay, so for that, in order to discuss all those things step by step, we need to create a first AWS account as a free tier, since we are going to do all those things as if in a free tier mode. For that, we are going to create an free tier account. See, similarly, for in a industry also, every company, if they are going to consume the AWS services, they are going to create an AWS account with respect to their use cases and also for their usage accordingly for how they are going to consume those services and what basis they are going to consume and what quantity they are going to consume. Accordingly, they are going to create an whether it may be for the developer or maybe for the enterprise or which level of uh, the use cases, which level of usage they're going to use. Accordingly, they will be using it for the industry purpose. For now, we are going to use for the free tier in order to consume for some of the services for our day-to-day and some practice. Okay. Okay, so now let's get into this first step to create an AWS free tier account. For that, what we need to do, we are going to this URL https aws amazon.com. So once you get into this URL, we may get into this page. Here you can see we have complete your AWS registration. You have this sign in button and complete. Here also we have the complete sign up button. So before get into this creating this AWS free tier account. So first I would like to go through this some of the uh, topics which is present in this particular page. So basically, when we are going to understand for this particular concept or particular things before get into this, just to go through that what is all about. Okay. So first right now we are going to create a free tier account. Just before that, just to go through here, we have free tier registration pack and also for the contract SO, right? So when you have to just click this free tier account, and what is that free tier account? Just if you see here, three types of offers, like for free trials and for the 12 months free and always free. Just to go through this. So if you see here, just free trade details, you have this compute storage database, and for so how many hours it is free. See, this is for 750 hours per month, and for 5 GB standard storage, and 750 hours for Amazon RDS, something like that. So some of the services which is covered as part of this free tier account. Just to go through that uh, to understand more about that. So once you have done that, maybe you can go ahead and see clearly for the registration facts means frequently asked questions. So that is the reason. See, whenever if you want to learn something from AWS or maybe something if you want to understand or if you want to get some clarity, then always try to read from that official documentation. So there are a lot of documentation which is already available. So whatever the information which you required, it is always readily available from that AWS official documentation. So you can see here also for the free tier registration fee, just uh, so in order to understand, okay, in order to get some of the details from other videos or maybe other sources or other platforms, just to see here, we have step-by-step detail which is provided. You see here, there are some general questions, right? So to understand, then also for the free tier, under free tier we have some of the questions. Under payment we have some of the questions. Then we have verification for. Then we have support plan. Okay, so this is how it is there. So you have to go through this to understand some of the concept or to identify what are the things which is provided as part of this. Okay, so once you have done this, you have that contact us. Suppose if you have any doubts or any clarity, or once you have created your account, if you want to contact with AWS support, so you have this support services page. See here, it is for the sales support, this for complaints. So you have to be raise anything related to complaints with respect to that particular AWS account. You just go ahead and uh, create it from this complaints here. Then if you see, we have this subscriber support services, which means so paid subscriber, right? So well, not for paid, but also free subscribers as well as for the paid subscribers. It's depends on the based on your uh, industry needs. All right. So some of the industry-based project, industry-based account, they'll be providing for 24/7. It's based on the company needs or industry needs. If you see here, technical support for related technical issues for basic support plan, which means the support for service-related technical issues. If you face any kind of service-related service orient or service related issues, you will not get means you will not accommodated those things from the basic level, which means basic support plan, which is free there. Okay, so in case if you have this industry or maybe for the enterprise level support, then you may get end-to-end 24/7. Just if you want to learn it from more, just you can learn about support plan options. You can just let me tell you. You see, support plans we have developer support, business support, enterprise on RAM, enterprise support. Developer support is design testing early development on AWS for student, occasional user, and experience who require query on support. Okay. So similarly for the business support is minimum recommended by AWS tray. If you have production workloads in on AWS and need 24/7 access technical support in the context of specific use cases, which means specific use cases. You see that enterprise on RAM, we recommended enterprise on RAM if you have production business critical workload, which is running on AWS, want to 24/7 access technical support from engineers, access health API, also con consultative architecture guidance, and also full of technical account managers to coordinate access the subject matter expert. So you may get in this plan, you may get all those services which is part of this particular plan. Also for the enterprise support. Okay, so basically, I think whenever if you want to start with that particular anything, if you want to start, maybe you can go ahead and understand more about that. Maybe so that you can get more understanding about that particular services. Okay, I hope now you want basically what is the free tier and what are the frequently asked questions, and also for so in case if you face any kind of issue, so what needs to be done and to whom we need to ask, so something like that. So please go through all those things before get into that to understand more about these cases, right? Okay, now we are going to create a free tier account for this particular user. So what we need to do, we have this, okay, you can sign in from this button or maybe complete sign up. So what you need to do, you have this complete sign up, just click on this. So once you clicked on, so you may get into this page like for sign in account or page. So here you can see there are two user, right? One is for root user and another one is for IAM user. So root user, right? Just check this. What is root user? Account owner that performs tasks requiring unrestricted access, which means this account, the account which is going to create a first time or maybe for that any kind of industry use case, any kind of enterprise level. So they're going to create by using the root account. Okay, a root account is the owner of that account to perform tasks for the requiring unrestricted access, which means this particular user having full access. Okay, suppose if you want to know more about that, just click on this. Okay, just to click on this know more link, just to go through this page to understand more about that. Similarly, we have for this IAM user, right? So IAM user is user within the account that performs daily tasks, which means so once you have created an account by using your root user, so after that, you need to log in with that root user. Then you have to be create an IAM user. Okay. So basically, you have that root user account. Under that, you're going to create an IAM user. Okay. So in this user having within that account that performs daily task, which means so by using this user, you are going to log into that AWS console by using AWS console or maybe via programmatic access in order to perform some minimal kind of work like specific kind of works, which means the security level you have some kind of restriction so that everybody having their own access policy in order to perform their day-to-day activities. Okay. Now, basically, for we have this root user email address, and for then we have that next. So suppose if you have this account, if you have this the account which you have already created, for example, root account. So what you need to do, you have to give your root user account, and you just click on the next so that it will take into that AWS Management Console. Okay. Now we are going to create a new user. Means we are going to create a new account. We don't have any account earlier. So what we need to do, we are going to create a new account for this in order to do some, in order to perform some operation and later point of view. So for that, for the fresher or maybe for the newcomers is going to create an AWS account. For that, they need to use you by using this create a new AWS account. Okay, just you need to click on this button. Once you have clicked, once you have clicked, so what you need to do here, you can see here sign up for AWS, right? So this is the fresh account. What you need to do, you have to give your unique email ID, which means your own email ID, and then you have this account AWS account number, which is your own name. So in order to identify your account. Okay. For example, I have already created for this root account, means AWS free tier account. I have that user ID password. And now what we are going to do for the individual, the those who don't have this email means don't who have that don't have this root user account. So let me tell you the step-by-step process. So how to do that? Maybe you can proceed accordingly in order to successfully created for that account. Okay. So let's discuss about this step-by-step process. For that, once you open this, for example, you have for example, you have this email ID and for your account name, just give that. Then once you have given, you just what you need to verify your email address. Okay. So for that, I have created step-by-step steps which already there. Let me go through that. So in order to create for the free tier account, what you need to do, go to this website or just which we have already done. Okay, provide your email address. This is what I told. Okay, provide your email ID address means which means that you have to give your email ID, which is not used earlier. Okay, even if you have used earlier, should not give that. You have to give that. Give you your for the new email ID. Okay, provide your new email address. Once you have done, enter your email address, choose the sign in, right? So email ID and for the account name. So verify your email address. Once you have verified, so it will go to the next page. Uh, Fill in this record information, includes your name, email address, and password. So in order to log into that, okay, once you have done, you have to give your contact details. Next steps, enter your contact information, including your address, phone numbers. There are five steps which is involved. I just elaborated all those things here. In that, when you go to here, there are five steps. After this page, there are five steps or five pages. You need to give the required details. It's kind of UI based input, interactive input. Just give that. Go to next. Then you have to complete that. Okay. So whatever the steps which is we are going to follow, you are going to follow that. I already covered as part of this. Just to see here. Once you have done this contact information, everything, then what you need to do, you have to give the payment information. Okay, which means so you will need to provide a credit card or debit card verification purpose, even though you are signing up for the free tier. Okay, AWS requires this require this to prevent abuse their free tier services. You won't be charged unless until you have used or maybe you are exceeded the limits. Okay. Then once you have done, identify the verification, you may require verify your identity via phone call or maybe text SMS. So which is specifically attached whatever the phone number which you have given as part of that. So once you have done, everything is fine. Then you have to be. There are three plans. One is for the basic developer and for um, personal account, personal use, right? So there are three types of plans. It will be appear. So you need to use for the select for the basic plan. Okay, in that from that. So once you have done, you need to complete the sign up. Once you have filled all those required details, so everything is verified, then your account will get created. So access that AWS. Now you are going to take that user ID, you or maybe for your email ID which you have already registered. By using that email ID, you are going to log into that console. Okay. So this is the process. Once you have done, maybe you start using that uh, AWS account for your use cases. Okay. So these are the steps we have to follow in order to create a free tier account. Okay, fine. So now let's get into that page. So now what you have done? So you have created a free tier account. Now we are going to log in root user. Okay. So as I told you, I have already created. I am using the I have the root user account, which is used for long back. Maybe I'm using it. So let me log into that. Okay. So this is my root user email ID. Then I have to give just giving that once again. Nice. Okay. So yeah, fine. Okay. Now, congratulations, we have logged in. Okay. So once you have done, you have logged in successfully. Then go to your account and AWS Management Console. Okay. Now I logged into AWS Management Console successfully by using root user account. Okay. So now, as I told you earlier, right? So root user account is basically having that full access, right? So it contains for all the services access that also this root user having all the access and for the um, full permission, right? So for that, any kind of any emergency or for the specific particular in order to perform some particular task, then we need to use for this root user account. So for the day-to-day or daily basis work, we should not use this root user account. That is the reason it is already mentioned when we are creating for that account, right? So it is clearly mentioned stated that so root user always used for any critical or any kind of emergency task only, which because this user is having full rights and also for the full permission. Okay. So for the day-to-day, daily basis activities, we need to create a IAM user. Okay, identity and access management user. So what this user is used for? This user is used for the daily day-to-day activities in order to perform some kind of limited permission and also for the um, specific kind of services they're going to use in order to perform that required whatever the task, whatever the uh, boundaries allocated for that particular user. Okay. Now let's discuss about so how to create an IAM user for that. Okay, so then once we have created for the IAM user, just then we'll see how to use that IAM user to log into that console. Okay, in order to do the day-to-day activities. Okay, for that, what we need to do here, just go to your search button, create, and click on IAM. Okay, so IAM is the one of the main service manage access to the AWS resources, right? So identity and access management service. Okay, click on this. So once you have clicked, so you have that you can see in the left side you have user groups, user roles, policies, identity providers, and account settings. So here I need to create an user. Okay. So let me click on this user. We have this create user. Okay. I just create user. I need to create. So what I need to do, see, this is my AWS account. This is my AWS account ID. You can see here, this is my AWS account ID. Uh, in this in this AWS account, okay, for this account ID, whatever the ID which is mentioned, this is for the AWS account, which is created as a free tier. So from there, I am going to create an IAM user in order to perform day-to-day activities or daily basis activity. Okay, so whatever this user is going to perform, so he will not means this particular user will not log in with the root user account. This user is logged in with their own user ID password. Means by using this AWS console or maybe programmatic access. We have AWS console access and as well as for the programmatic access. So in order to perform this activity. Okay, now we are going to discuss about create an IAM user. By after once we have created, so that user is going to log in with the AWS console to do that activity. Okay, so now if you see, let's create an user with this account. For example, uh, demo demo user. Okay. See, this username can have up to six. You can see this. Okay. So this is the user. Okay. You have the check button. So provide user access to the AWS management console. Okay. So in order to use that management console access, so you need to click on this checkbox button. Then after that, you come down. Okay. You see here. Specify an user identity center recommended, and I want to create an IAM user. Okay. So we are recommended that use identity center provide access to the person with identity center centrally manage access to the account cloud operations applications. So I want to create. We recommend you to create an IAM user only if you enable program identity then true. Okay. So keys service key for this AWS command key space backslash for that emergency account access. I want to create an IAM user for this. Click on this. Then auto-generated password or you need to create a custom password. Okay, so just click on this. Then you need to create a custom password. Okay, just I'm creating custom password. And then I just clicking on for the next. See here, you have this right permission options. So add user to the group, copy permissions, attached policies directly. So this user add user to the group. So if you want to add this user to the group, so for example, in an organization, they will not create individual user, right? So for example, developer, operations, testers, lead, technical lead. So this kind of category. So they'll create a user group. Under that user group, they'll add those users. Okay. So with respect to that, because basically in an organization, there are many people will work for that particular operations, right? So they are going to create a group and they're going to create an individual user. That user will get added into that group, respective group. So that is why it mentioned. Then copy permission, copy all group members attached to the manage policy, inline policy from the existing user. So if you want to copy the permission, you can use that because anyhow we are not going to do. So what we are going to do here? So we are going to create a attach policies directly. Okay, attach a manage policy directly to the user for the best way we recommend attach policy group instead. Okay. So here if you see here, there are different types of AWS managed policies. Okay, so which is already created, which is already available. So if suppose if you this particular user want to access only for that EC2 machine or EC2 related services, then if you see here, Amazon EC2 full access or Amazon EC2 read only access. Okay, so similarly, like that, you whatever the access you are going to give, then you have to select that, and accordingly, if you create, so what will happen? This particular user can access only for the particular means particular region, particular access only. For example, EC2 full access means uh, this particular user can able to perform all the activities with respect to EC2 related Elastic Compute Cloud, right? So EC2 related access. So that is why it is mentioned. Suppose if I want to add administrator access. Okay. So suppose if I want to select administrator, so it is a AWS managed option policy. So I am just going to give full administrator access for this particular user. Okay. So I am going to do next. Okay. So if you see here, you have created permission boundary, IAM use change password, and also administrator access. Okay, username is a demo user, password is custom password, and for password reset, yes. Okay, similarly it will happen. Then if you want to add tag, you can able to add it. Now we are going to create an user. Okay, so now user has been created. This is the console login, right? So just copy this. Okay, click on this and to the next tab. Okay. Now you see this account ID automatically populated. Okay. So if you see here, so whatever this account, right? So which is there, that account automatically populated. Now IAM user is the demo user. Okay. Now I'm just logging in. Okay. So once you logged in, what it will ask? It will ask for the old password, new password in order to reset. Okay. Now old password is new password. Okay. Logged in. Okay, see here. Now I have created a IAM user. If you see here, this is the demo user. for this account. Okay, I can get all this. So account ID is this, and for the user, IAM user is demo user, right? So everything, so whatever is there as part of that root user account. So I just created full account, full access rights, and I just created here. You see here. So everything it came into now for this demo user account, right? So this is the account ID. Under that we have IAM user which is created. This is the account ID. We have this IAM user. Okay. So just to see here. Okay, this is the thing. Now, if you see, you can able to see that, right? So now you are created IAM user and able to log it in successfully without any issue. Now, next steps would be, so what you need to do as part of this daily day-to-day activities, you have to log in with this account name, account ID, account number, username, and password. By using that, you log into that AWS account in order to perform this activity, or in order to use your use cases, or in order to build your use cases. Okay. So I hope you're cleared on this. So just to wrap up, and we have created AWS free tier AWS account. Then we uh, created by using their root user own email ID. But then we have understand about what is root user account and why we are using for the root user account. So when we are going to use that root user account, and then we understand about what is IAM user and why we are using IAM user, what is the purpose of IAM user, and why we are going to use different kind this type of users as part of that. Okay. So now once you have done, so we created an IAM user, and by using console access, by providing user ID password, then we can able to log in with that particular IAM user. Okay. So we just logged in successfully and able to view that console access, means console access for that particular IAM user. I hope it is clear now. So you can go ahead and practice it and understand about so so how this user and what is the purpose of PTR account, what are the things is there, and how it is applied, all those things. So once you have understand about this, so you can able to do for the next kind of set of actions. So basically, you may get some kind of hands-on. So how to create all those things, do some kind of same similar kind of hands-on, so that you can get some idea. Basically, on top of that, so we can go for the maybe we can try for next kind of use cases. I hope hopefully it I hope it is yes for you. So just focus on that. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel so that it motivates me for creating new contents like this. So also I will creating this kind of technical videos. I'll update this things into our channel. So uh, all the very best. Okay, so do practice well and also keep learning on. Then we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.